What is up, legends? We are back, and I'm about to hook y'all up today. We're doing a Breakstone guide, but I am also going to tell you the biggest secret in this game that is prevalent for global, prevalent for CN. Doesn't matter what version of the game it is. This works on both regions because they are essentially the same game. Now, what I'm actually going to break down is how to get Breakstones both free and spend, and why it's the most important thing in the game and the only thing you should pay attention to first. And I'm gonna give you the reason why and break all that down. So the very first thing that we're going to talk about is one of the easiest things to actually do, and it's simply for showing up. You do get Breakstones here eventually, based off of this nice little box right here. It's not all the time, but you will get it just basically for showing up and clicking the box. So make sure you do this every day when you see it available. The next thing that we will talk about is your idol. The idol will give you Breakstones according to how well your idol is. And if you built up the actual bonus that's in the dojo to allow you to get more Breakstones. You see, this is not much. This has only been 3 hours right now. So it's 115 plus 12, which is 127. Not a lot for 3 hours. So obviously you build over a little bit of time. The next step that we'll talk about is an explorer. So global operations will give you Breakstones according to whatever you've done in the trial grounds. It's a big source of it, and inverse does not. As far as I have seen, they give you other stuff like battle data and currency and stuff to actually get dupes and stuff like that. But no Breakstones that I've seen. Shadow City is one of the major sources of actually getting Breakstones, and you could pretty much go in and you have the mysterious boost, which actually helps out. You have the bonus right here that happens every once in a while, which you get 200% of all the things that you actually knock out in the stage. And then according to, let's go ahead in here, according to however you win, knock them out real quick. It's over. And whatever bonuses you're gonna get. Of course, once you get towards the end, let's do that. Once you get towards the end, up here, you're gonna get this box right here, which when it's at 200%, is going to give you a bunch of Breakstones. So it's a big boost that you need to be doing this and pay attention to make sure that you are knocking this out every way that you can. You see the rewards down here on the bottom. You see 0 to 1500, plus you get the 2 hour Breakstone right there as well, and it'll double because at 200%. Now, we'll talk about the grant. The heroic grant is the most and the best thing in this game to purchase. You see, I purchased the other 2 tiers outside the normal one, and I have gotten everything. If there is anything that you're going to spend on in this game, it's this 100%. This is the best thing in this game right now, and it gives you the most Breakstones in the game right now. So if you're looking like, I want to support, what is the best thing that I can buy? It's this 100%. There is nothing else better than this right now, because this is going to allow you to freely be able to own this game. And I know you're going to be like, well, why am I saying all that? We're going to talk about that at the end, but this right now is the best thing to actually get in this game. You see, I got everything. I purchased all the 2 tiers that came out for the free one. We maxed it. It's about to go away in 9 days. Hopefully they will refresh it, but it really won't matter by that point in time, because I'm probably just going to be done with Breakstones as a total anyway, as far as me pushing it. So this is the most important thing that you need to do right now. Another source is Supreme Fist. Now, as you go up through Supreme Fist, you're going to notice on the top left right here is going to give you Breakstones per the level that you actually go ahead and win and, push yourself through on. So it's up to you, depending on how far you want to get. For the most part, I do have a team that I'm going to show you guys a little bit later that actually helps out with that. A lot of people don't have Monster Hunter Ken, and, obviously I'm using a Merc in Shadow City, but that doesn't work a lot for everywhere else because it's going to run out. But there is something else that you can actually do, and we'll talk about that in a different video. But for the most part, right here, you just want to keep getting stage wins as you can. So you get 55 in the rewards. You keep going up, and you see that it keeps doing that for the most part. And as you get to higher stages, that number goes up. So you definitely want to keep doing that. You also can get into here, and it's going to give you some good rewards as well. As you can see, so you just want to make sure that you are doing that and get yourself to 120 eventually on whatever element. It's probably going to be thunder that I can get there. I don't know if I'm going to get there on wind and fire, but definitely thunder. So yeah, then next up we'll talk about is the bounties. You notice in the bounties that you see we're getting 500 right here for a red element quest, and then the 3-1 is given 48 right now. So you definitely want to make sure that you are knocking that out whenever you can. Super simple. Oh, we just got another one. More breakstones right there, and then over here we just got some breakstones right here. Pretty interesting. The next up is the shop. The shop right here is going to tend to give you breakstones where you can just snatch out for currency. It's relatively expensive. I usually just come in here and try to buy everything that I can. Make sure that you pay attention to what you're buying, because it does cost a lot eventually, and you can't make yourself go broke. You can also refresh it again if you want for 100, and then get breakstones again right there. So there's that. Me personally, I don't use 450 for 500 breakstones. I just kind of like ignore that. But unless you want to actually go ahead and do that, you can, because it's 1-to-1. And one breakstone is basically one currency, basically. But I still don't like doing that. That's up to you if you wish that you want to actually do that, as well as refreshing. None of the other shops give you breakstones, so you don't have to worry about that. It would be nice, but they don't. And the next thing up is PvP drops. Now, PvP drops, what essentially will happen is you want to just make sure that you're going for wins all the time. Don't try to be gangster and fight people that you know is going to actually beat you. Basically, you just have to pick on people at that point, because it's going to drop, for most cases, on average, about every other fight is going to give you like 40 to 50 breakstones, and it's free. Basically, as long as you can beat the opponent. So just go ahead and actually do it. There's no reason not to do it. Doesn't do it every time, but for the most part, it does give you a good deal of breakstones. You also get breakstones in the draw, as you can see right here, in divination. Now it's chilling right here. Also, a normal draw, not a lot of the times, but some of the times in the path, there's going to be breakstones that actually get one of the paths to this. So I think it's only one time that it happens, but it does happen. So going into the mall now, you see right here in the subscriptions, you can actually get breakstones right here for the subscription. So you see I do have that along with the grant. That's the two areas I have actually purchased. I don't pay attention to this over here on the right, because it's just giving you currency and VIP and stuff like that. So it's kind of like You also get breakstones over here. If you look at the $100 pack right there, you're gonna get breakstones right there. So if you're looking into actually spending, you can actually do that. I don't pay attention too much to this. As you can see, like I just usually ignore all this, but breakstones is right here at $4.99 if you want to actually pick it up. Same thing over here. Breakstones again are at $4.99 right here, $9.99 in the next row, $14.99 right here, $29.99 the 24-hour everything pack right there on the third one, $49.99 for 8-hour packs, and $99.99 right now here is 8-hour 12 of the 8-hour packs right there. The growth pack right here, if you have the characters, will actually hook you up and give you some breakstones as well. And you see I just have these characters right here. Well, just, Ken. And I got to that right point. Just getting one of them basically gets you 2,000. And I just went ahead and got the $4.99 pack right now to make sure that I got him at 13. He did come out on the 13, because I know people are going to ask. We got Poison luckily in one box, so we just got her right now. And as you go further down, you see that there's no other breakstones right there to actually get. And then we have the Fashion Blanca right here, where you basically could purchase all this as well. But there's no breakstones right here, so it's up to you if you want to actually purchase it. This is a lot to be purchasing. That's a lot, yo. This is. You have the fight mall right here. And if you notice right here, when you make a $99.99 purchase or a $100 purchase, basically, you get the 6-hour, 5 of the 6-hour ones. Nothing for Blossom and Fist. On Street Poison, if you look over the bottom right, you get 20 of the 24-hour Breakstone. That's a lot. 20 for the 24-hour. That's a big jump. This is actually worth doing if you like Poison. I'm not a big Poison fan, but this is worth doing. And then right here, this is a lot. And if you're a Cammy fan, this might be worth doing because it's 24 hours and there's 40 of them, plus the Divination summons and Cammy and then currency as well. So, in my opinion, that's kind of okay thing if you want to go for Wailing. I'm not going to do it, but is what it is. Let's see what else do we have next. Now, special events, which is the world events, is going to be different things that come in, and the rule of thumb, all the time, breakstones all the time. Here it is right here. It's not a lot. Breakstones all the time. Honor treasure, your reward, breakstones all the time. Street art, I don't think has breakstones. I don't think it does. There's breakstones in this as well. I just haven't done this one, but I did do this one. You see there were breakstones in that. Global Awakening, I don't think actually gave any, so we don't have to worry about that. And City Pursuit is just all of this. So that is it as far as where you can get breakstones both freely and purchasing. Now you're gonna be like, why is this so important and why am I making a big emphasis on this? Is you can freely go along this line if you just have the patience to actually do this. And notice that I say a lot, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, you do not need any of the new characters coming in. The game's base roster will take you through everything that you need in the game, all the base roster that you can get. So you don't have to chase after, like if you see, oh my god, I need that fashion Cammy. Why is it pay to win? Or like, you don't have to worry about that. You don't need them. You don't need them. You don't need them. Mad Ryu, Guile, and Sea Viper can do all that. Straight up. And you can freely push them up, not spending any money, and get them all the way to SSS. It's going to take like a month or two. That's it. Basically, I'm literally a month or two. That's it. Not 3 months, not 4 months, not 5, not 6, a month or two. Like, if you're patient enough, you can freely do everything in the game. The problem is that people see stuff all the time and think that they're naturally supposed to have it just because they see it and get impatient and this everything is pay to win when you technically can just free to play it and go through the whole game freely and get to the point that where the whales are right now for free. I emulate that in China. You literally can do that in China. You have to manually do that in China. It's a lot harder to do it in China, but you can do it in Global the same exact way. And Global has actually a idol that will passively allow you to actually do that. And you can skip ahead in content because you have cheese characters like Bison and B. Zangief who allow you to cheese ahead and do stuff like that for free, basically. Again, all this stuff that I'm saying right now is all free. And what you essentially want yourself to do at that point is you want to basically just allow it to happen freely. Or you can spend a little like I did. I'm up to $45, by the way, for people who are counting. 45. That's it. That's all I spent. The grant, 45 or 50. How much was the grant? It was $9.99, $2.99, and I think that's 30, 40, 45. Because the subscription was $4.99. $4.99 for the Ken pack. It was $5 for something else, so we're at 45. I'm pretty sure it's $5 for I'm probably forgetting something, but we're at 45 right now. I don't think we're at 50. Unless the grant pack was more than that, then we would be at 50. But we'll say 45 for right now. I don't remember what the grant pack was, but 45. What you essentially want to do is you want to have 4 characters at 240, and what that does is that pushes everybody up to 240, and essentially at that point you start to limit break your whole account. So all the rest of your characters start leveling with those 4 characters. You just want to focus on those 4 characters at that point. Everything fashion that you get, if you want to spend on anything, is going to be limit broken up until whatever that character is. So this fashion Blanca is basically going to be along for the ride with Makoto, as long as Makoto keeps leveling up. So that's going to be basically a free character that's going to keep pushing along with everything else, along with all the rest of your characters. And what that does is make things a whole lot easier for you, because you get better placement on events. You have a strong account, basically, and you start to build the resources easier now, because now you start reaching a point of you don't have to focus necessarily all just on summons. You can start focusing on div, and when you can just focus on div and not just straight on these summons right here, you start letting the faction recruit start being the summons where you need to do. You start hanging on to your arcade coins, because once a month you're gonna get an event to actually dump them, the same way that you do that we have in China. You see, I save up my coins. I don't really use them throughout the month. And then at the end of the month, I usually end up with like maybe 90 to 100. It's not as much in global. You usually end up like 40 to 50, maybe like, 40 to 50 or something like that, which is still good. And then you use your currency on other stuff, or you can just save it and then wait for the monthly summon, and then start dumping, like when whatever is going to come. Is like the next one is going to probably be Akuma. For the most part, we're all going to be just dumping our currency and our coins on that, because that's the way that the event works. It's going to work like that regardless of what everybody thinks. Is that they're not going to change the way that the events work. That's the way that it work, and that's what we all were used to in China. You just dump your coins on that and get the character, basically. So even if you go to pity, you just have enough coins and enough currency just to go to pity, so you at least get the character once, and then you can just go worry about it after that. Just getting the character once is usually the big thing, and then you just build on from that. Obviously, the more that you get, the better it's going to be, and the more that you save, the better it's going to be for you. But the event would come back again, and then you're still in that same cycle, so then you just dump again, which is what happened with me with Akuma. I got Akuma the first time around, only got him like the 2 or 3, and then his event came back again, and then I had the same type of cycle again, where I waited for the end of the month event, where you can just dump your currency and your coins and everything else, and then I got Akuma up to +7, I believe. Now he's up to +8 in China. I'm gonna do the same thing in global. Again, like I said, it's the same game, basically. So, and the same event structure is working the same way too. Like you have like your world events, like we get the effigy right now and stuff like this. You just let it freely go in and don't go crazy. Just go crazy. Like you do your normal stuff. You don't worry about it. This isn't even an event for that type of stuff. And they literally have things right here where you can actually farm coin, which is one of the reasons why I haven't been using all of it, because I want to see the Akuma event come in, and this is probably going to run out just in front of the Akuma event, and they're probably going to preview it to let us see what's going on. And as soon as I see the event looks like the same thing in China, which it will, because this is the same event from China as well, and it's working the exact same way with the exact same type of reward structure. Like they didn't change anything basically, except for the stuff that we have in here and the characters, but it's still the same reward structure. You're still farming coins and everything else like that. So for the most part, after I've done with Breakstones, essentially what I'm gonna do is I'm ignoring everything else except maybe building like this, because this is useful for going for like, pushing my characters to +30 and stuff like this. But for the most part, I'll probably just go into the coins for the Akuma summon, so I can use all my coins and just get like a good max level Akuma. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna do it now before I forget. because I'm pretty sure that it's going to work like that. And you see, they give that is a lot. That max limit, that's a lot of free summons right there. So just hold them. Just hold them, dog. There's nothing wrong with just holding them. And then, like I said, once you're free, you head over to the div and you just start dumping your currency on the div stuff. And now they're starting to give us tickets in the div as well. So you just focus a character. Like I'm focusing Bison right now. I'm not getting off Bison until I get Bison up to maybe SS or something like that, or and then maybe I'll go and focus something else, and then hopefully maybe I'll get that 30,000 currency, and then I can just turn around and use that 30,000 currency back in here again, and then get some more Bison. Again, Breakstone's chilling right there, the 8-hour ones, and all the other goodies that's in here too, including like that power fist right there, including the wind thing. I don't know why it's just a one wind thing right there. It's weird, but you got all the rest of the stuff in here. So that is the reason why you want to focus that, because you want to end up at that 240 where the game is basically downhill for you. After that, you're basically going downhill. Everything is easier for you after that point. So you just want to get to that point and just focus. You want to focus and get to that sweet spot, so you're good. Like in China, I'm good. I don't have to worry about nothing. Like when I get a new character, they just straight up to whatever level. I'm like level 560 right now. 560. New character, 560. You could just throw it right in with no gear and it'll still be good. And you could do that in global too. It's the same thing, but you have to focus. You don't fall for the pay to win trap. As soon as you see that fashion cami, oh my god, I gotta go out. Nah, bruh. Fashion cami ain't gonna do more than your Viper and your Guile and your Ryu right now. Focus on that first. Get yourself up to that link, and then turn around and do whatever the hell you want to do in the game. Hell, by that time, when you got everybody chilling at 240 limit break and everything, you're going to be stacking resources because you're going to be strong enough to own the events, because all your account is going to be strong and nobody can take that away from you at that point. You're going to have an OP ass account that you earned and got to that point. Basically, so you can farm the events, do mad good, get good resources, and when the events, and then when the summon come along, when they put out like that Bison or the Sagat, or the Akuma, or when the new characters start coming in, when you get like the premium tier characters, like the alt versions and stuff like that, even if you don't have enough resources, hell, you're gonna have enough resources that they dropping stuff like Cami, fashion Cami into like the normal thing. You have like freaking 500 summons available because you caked out and G'd on everything. You got full red gear and stuff like this. You gotta focus though. And that's why Scion is here for you. Scion is here for you. You got to focus. You got to make sure you get to this 240 and don't fall for all the rest of the nonsense, and block everything out and focus and get to that 240. And trust me, you're going to remember this video, and that I said this at this point in time, and that I've been doing this for 2 years, that everything is easier for you at that point. So I will catch you guys next video. Be legendary. I hope you guys pay close attention to this video, because it's very important to get to this point. You see, this is what I'm pushing myself towards. I'm ignoring everything else. I don't care about the rest of them characters. They ain't gonna do jack for me. What's gonna do jack for me is when my account is global leveling. When I'm global leveling past 240 and going up to like level 1000, that's what is gonna do stuff for me. So you focus on that. Peace. Thank you, Legends, for getting to the end of the video. We do 3 to 4 videos every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be first in notification squad. I love everybody who stops by, and I will see you next video. Peace.